Hello everyone, today we're going to set up our computers for a better workflow. We have two multimedia classes, both of which are using the same computers, so we need to make sure that we set up our workflow in such a way that we don't interfere with one another's work. So the first thing that you need to do is create a new folder specifically for your class. So if you do two-finger tap on the touchpad, it will pull up the right-click menu, and you're going to create a new folder. And if you are in my 4A class, then you will create a folder named 4A. And if you are in my 7B class, then you will create a folder called 7B. And now you'll see that my icons line up neatly, and that's because if you go into, again, your two-finger tap right-click menu and go to sort by, I have snap to a grid selected. I highly recommend that you all make sure this is enabled so that your folders line up neatly and don't just cause a huge mess on the desktop. So we've created now a folder for your class, again, either 4A or 7B. You can see that I've already got a folder for myself, and this is where I keep all my projects in. And your folder should look something like this. So for now, we'll just now move over to Final Cut Pro and click on that to open it. And it does take a moment to open. And let's pretend like we don't have a section open already, a library open already. So if you open this for the first time and there's no library, then it will probably create a library called Untitled, and I don't want you to use an untitled library. So what you can do is, again, do the two-finger tap to right-click and then close that untitled library if it created an untitled library for you. So what should start off with is a screen that looks something like this. And so then what we'll do is go to File, New, and New Library. And your library will be called 4A if you're in my 4A class, or it will be 7B if you're in my 7B class. So let's just do 4A for now. And then you will save your 4A library in your 4A folder, like that. And now you'll see that it has also created an event for the day that you create this. So I'm doing this on Sunday the 11th, but whatever day we get to this in class, it's going to be 8, two-digit number, and then 19 for the school year. Now, if we minimize Final Cut Pro and go into 4A, what you will see is the library file. And so I want 4A and 7B to have separate libraries again, because if we just have all of our projects lining up under the same banner, it's going to get very confusing to keep track of your work. As the year goes on, it's going to become more and more difficult to keep track of the stuff that you have downloaded if you don't organize your library correctly. So every time we start a new project, I want you to create a folder in your class folder. So say, for example, you're in my 4A class and you were doing a project today. Well, today is the 11th of August, 2019. So you would create a folder named for the date that you are currently in, and then you will download all your files to this folder. And that way, when you create an event also for the date, you will then import your files from the folder that you're downloading them into. But we'll talk more about that in a different video. All I want you to do today is to create a desktop folder for your class period, And inside that desktop folder, I want you to have a library name for your class. And that way, if we close these libraries, and we're going to make one for 7B as well, and save that in the 7B folder, obviously. And there you go. So that way, when you are working in my class and you start up your computer, all you have to do is go into your folder and open the library, and that will open Final Cut Pro for you. And there you go. So this way, if we all adhere to what I'm telling you to do, which is to create a desktop folder with your class in it, and then every time we work on a new project, you create a new folder with the date in it, and you save all of your work into that dated folder. At no point will anyone lose anything or get their work confused with another person from another class. And if we do this correctly, then we should have no workflow problems throughout the school year. And I hope for the best. So let's make sure that we get our folders named correctly and we keep everything saved in the right place.